We are nearly a year and a half into this pandemic. No one could have foreseen the tremendous impact this virus would have on our social lives, mental health, and everyday freedoms we often took for granted. The interviews and stories that you are going to hear are from real people all around the world. Although each story is unique in many ways, they all share a common theme. They all share one of survival. These are the first-hand accounts of life in lockdown. These are the Quarantine Chronicles. This is the Quarantine Chronicles, hosted by Justice Hall.
Well, it is very interesting, Justice. I've been, all my life, I've been somebody that likes this lifestyle. I like to be in front of my computer. I want to be isolated. I want to be in the house for long periods of time. So when the whole quarantine and COVID thing started happening, I was happy. I was like, finally, the world can experience what I do on a daily basis. Welcome to my life.
My place of comfort, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I was like, yay, finally, the world sees everything the way I see. But after a year now, I can see that this is not the best way of living. People are social beings. You should socialize. You should not be this isolated that can affect your mental health. And when your mental health is affected, your productivity also decreases. So it's like everything needs to be in a balance. If you're not happy, your head is not happy, you can't do good work. If you can't do good work, you can't earn a good living. Everything kind of goes hand in hand. So yeah, in the beginning of the quarantine, it was great. I was like so happy, but right now I'm like kind of over it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Do Your Life Justice with the new installment of the Quarantine Chronicles. So we have Farhad in the building. Welcome, Farhad. Thank you for joining us today. So can you tell us a little about yourself, where you're from, where you're at, and what you do for a living?
Of course. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Farhad. I'm living in Turkey. I'm currently at a real estate job, and I'm really glad to be here.
Nice. So what part of Turkey are you living in? How long have you been here? And how are you liking this country?
Well, I've been in Turkey for the past decade, and I live in Istanbul, which is the biggest city in Turkey. And I've done a little bit of everything. I first studied, and I finished my master's degree, and really I already jumped between different jobs. My major is in civil engineering, but I've done everything but civil engineering as a means to earn a living. Yeah, but I think the closest I don't know, man. I didn't really fully like civil engineering, I think, and it is kind of a dying breed, Everything that we learned at school, it can be done by a single app, in less than 10 minutes. And I've learned all of this in 4 years. Okay, so you see, maybe in like 10 years, there won't be such a thing as civil engineering. So the competition is tight, and the amount of people who study civil engineering is pretty high. So demand is high. The other thing, supply is high, the demand is low. So I didn't really have any serious opportunity to explore it. Also, my heart wasn't 100% in it. Yeah.
So why would there be so many people majoring in a major that has limited demand?
Well, I cannot speak for everybody, but for me, I did not know any better. And when I first chose civil engineering, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I just went through this exam called EOS, and I looked at my point. I was like, okay, got 80. What is available for 80? And I was like, hey, civil engineering. My uncle studies civil engineering and he's doing well. So yeah, let's do that. So that was the thought process behind it. And after 2 years, I was already deep in it. And I really wanted to finish what I started. I actually remember it vividly. There was this time when I was in second year of university, there was this opportunity for me to go to Germany, and that would have changed my life drastically. But I didn't. I was like, hey, I'm 2 years into civil engineering, okay? After 2 years, everything will be way better because I will be a civil engineer, and that's pretty tight, and I will do really well.
Life had other plans. So you say you're in real estate now. How are you finding the market? Are people looking for houses and apartments during this time?
Oh yeah, market is great. According to this website called Tweak, this for Turkish government, in the month of April, last month, 700 flats were sold to Iranians. So yeah, I should also mention that I work specifically in Iranian market right now, and Iranians are the highest in the list of foreigners who buy real estate in Turkey right now. So our market is pretty hot, but there are some difficulties in our ways, such as curfews. Everything is shut down for 20 days here, and everything is stopped. People don't want to just buy betons and windows. They want to, come here, take a walk, and go to restaurants. And since they cannot do that, they don't come here. It is not, very few people just come here to buy houses. It is also a vacation for them. So it is on a standby right now, but in general, it is pretty hot. Actually, I can go furthermore, take a step further and say real estate in Istanbul is the hottest in the world right now, according to this analytics websites in United Kingdom, Nightly something. I'll send you the link. And one of the reasons for this is Turkish government started this program, and if you buy a property for $250,000, you are eligible to get a passport, basically. If you're, everything checks out, you're not a criminal, those sort of things.
So you buy a house, you get to stay. You get to become
you get it as a bonus. So
that's a good incentive for a lot of people in third world countries and stuff like that. So
exactly, especially for Iranians. Yeah.
So it's a way of also filtering, because not many people have 250,000 lira as disposable income.
This is a niche market.
Yeah. With the real estate market and everything still going, but slowing, with people not being able to come and actually walk around and get the full experience, what is your daily routine? What are the things that you do on a daily basis?
I struggled with daily routine all of my life. And I thought about this. Every time that I establish a daily routine and I commit to it, I get a high amount of productivity in my day. And those times that I don't, everything does not go well for me as it should be. Right now, I just committed to a new daily routine, and I can tell you what it is. It is I basically wake up at 8 o'clock. I go exercise for 30 minutes. Then I come back, I eat breakfast, and then I meditate for 15 minutes. I start working. And that's it. I start working until I cannot do anymore. I take small breaks. I make my own food. And on around 10 o'clock, I'll watch some podcasts or TV series. And at 12, I'll try to go to bed. That's it. Yeah.
So just a little morning routine and then work. and then you kind of relax at the
Yes, constant grind. If I have a really specific task to do, for example, if I'm tasked with creating a new page for our website, then I can get into it with more details. Right now, like in my work time, I'll say, hey, this in the morning, I dedicate my time to do this part. In the afternoon, I dedicate my time to do this part. Yeah. If it is very time sensitive, I'll do it like that. But generally, the routines that I commit to, that I feel more comfortable, they're pretty loose. I know that I have to exercise, do work, and eat, basically. So, and I'll try to do them in an order. That's the logic. Yeah.
I mean, that's good. I mean, it's a not very strict routine, but it's a routine nonetheless. And has the lockdown had any impact on your mental state or health or anything like that?
Well, it is very interesting, Justice. I've been all my life, I've been somebody that likes this lifestyle. I like to be in front of my computer. I want to be isolated. I want to be in the house for long periods of time. So when the whole quarantine and COVID thing started happening, I was happy. I was like, finally, the world can experience what I do on daily basis. Welcome to my life.
My place of comfort. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I was like, yeah, finally, the world sees everything the way I see. But after a year now, I can see that this is not the best way of living. People are social beings. You should socialize. You should not be this isolated that can affect your mental health. And when your mental health is affected, your productivity also decreases. So it's like everything needs to be in a balance. If you're not happy, your head is not happy, you can't do good work. If you can't do good work, you can't earn a good living. Everything kind of goes hand in hand. So yeah, in the beginning of the quarantine, it was great. I was like so happy, but right now I'm like kind of over it.
Yeah, I think the monotony is what messes most people up. It's, I want a routine, but I need a change from that, or something to add to that, a stimuli. Because if I'm doing the same thing every single day, I'm in my house looking at the same four walls, the same people, or if I'm alone, just being there by myself, I'm like you, I enjoy my quiet time. I enjoy peace, being on the computer, whatever, in my own silence, in my own bubble. But this quarantine, being forced to do those things on a day-to-day basis, is annoying and a bit depressing. And I think that's the biggest impact that it's had on a lot of people, is I have to do this. I'm a grown-up. And the beauty about being an adult is being able to do what you want to do. And now I'm being forced. I'm in timeout. I have to sit in my room or in my house until someone else tells me that I can leave. So you say that this is something you were excited. When did you start to see, I'm no longer excited about the lockdown?
Yeah, I think it happened gradually. It did happen gradually. So you found this whole experience kind of depressing, right?
It's, at this point, we're a year and a half in, and I'm over it.
Yeah, there was, so you were never into it. There was nothing that you like, right?
I never wanted to be told that I can't leave the house. That was never,
that is pretty annoying. Yeah.
But having to stay inside is like, okay, that's fine. I can stay inside for a period of time, or the curfew. Okay, yeah, be in the house by 7, 8 o'clock. But after a year and a half of having to be on a schedule, not being able to leave the house on the weekends, when is it going to be over?
Dude, yeah, I know. Also, you mentioned something, being told not to go out, it is like another thing that I have to keep in back of my head. And back of my head is pretty full. I do not have room for all these rules. Hey, you can go out now. Now it is not cool. Now it is the weekend. And yeah, Turkey is also kind of extra weird. So in the weekends, you cannot go out. And during weekdays, you can go out. I don't know if that is something unique to Turkey or other places also implemented, but that was something really weird to me. I was like, come on, guys, are we in or are we out? Like, what is this weekend curfew all about? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's the time where we should be let out for at least a couple hours on the weekend. Well, everybody's off work and you can go and enjoy.
I guess so, man. I guess so. And I don't know. And my realization happened gradually. Yeah. There wasn't any single point of time that I can remember, hey, that changed my mind about this whole thing. Just one day, I realized I'm over it. And like nothing drastic happened. Just the whole deal.
Keep
the whole
chugging
package made me realize. Yeah.
So with that, what has been, you say that you have your little morning routine and then you're grinding, working, and then you watch podcasts or whatever. So is that your entertainment? How have you entertained yourself during this?
Dude, my entertainment, all I need is an internet connection and I'm entertained. Okay. There is the amount of lore and stories that I'm into. It is there's no end to it. I'm somebody who like to get into stuff, Warhammer, Warcraft, all, you name it. There's a good lore, there's a deep lore, I'm in it, I'm deep in it. And once you are into these deep lores, you are never bored because there's like constant things that you need to be updated. There's always some little detail, there's always a new language in it, Lord of the Rings. Basically, there are, I don't know how many pages of history there. And so, yeah, I'm never bored with the internet connection. And aside from that, there are always amazing video games. So I'm kind of into those stuff. I'm never bored. The only thing that can stop me is sometimes I'm like, oh, my neck. Oh, is that my back? Oh, no. Like, what am I doing? I get panic. Like, is this like the smartest way I could be spending my time? Yeah.
Are you panicked because you're like getting cramps? Like, I've been in this position. Or are you panicking because like, did I catch something? Do I have it?
They kind of go both hand in hand. Like my physical body, obviously, after how many hours straight on the chair, which has been my lifestyle for majority of my life, starts sending me pain signals. And then I started becoming self-aware. What am I doing? I need to go do sports. I need to take care of my body. So kind of ruins the fun for me. I wake up, try to be productive. Yeah. But if I was in no sort of pain, physically, emotionally, if I had no worry, I could just be on my chair, explore the lore, and play video games for basically eternity. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure there are many that are in that boat with you. It's like this is perfect life. Like you say, having the internet connection where you can just dive deep and there's always something to explore, a little more knowledge to gain, and diving a little deeper into a certain subject. That's fun. Now, I mean, with the internet, it's good, but if this happened like 20 years ago, when you had to go to the library to do your research,
yeah, then that would be a different story. I would probably be out. I'm not down with reading, okay? Can't read. I did my share of reading in civil engineering and now I'm done. Done with reading. I can only listen to podcasts. Or audiobooks.
So that's where you're getting, okay, so you're not reading it, you're listening to someone else.
No, hell no. I do not. I go out of my way not to read stuff. Okay. Yeah. So are you into lores too?
I'm not. I mean, I'll look at certain videos and watch certain movies, but I don't know anything about like all the different worlds and realms and all that stuff. So if I see a trailer of a movie or a story, I might look at it, but to know the history and detail of each character or how this came about, I
That
haven't.
is my jam.
Yeah.
So what is your main source of entertainment?
My main source, I mean, I have my phone where I play video games every now and then, Call of Duty, have it on my phone. I watch some podcasts and the news, watch the news daily. I will watch a series, but I'll watch an episode and then it'll be a few days and then I'll watch another episode. So it's a slow process for me.
We're very different, my friend. I watch an episode and I will be done with it when it is over, you know. I need to watch all the episodes or I get like extremely sleepy. I binge it, you know.
I mean, when I was watching Lord of the Rings, not Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and when me and Gina were watching the Game of Thrones, we watched a couple episodes at a time. It's like, oh my goodness, we got the next one. Now it's like, okay, I can pause, take a little break, and watch something else. And
Envy you, man.
But sometimes I'll need to go back and watch at least a little bit of the ending of the previous episode if it's been too long. And it's like, I forgot what happened in the last episode.
Well, you're a normal human being. I can respect that, and I envy you. I'm a prisoner to lore, man. I need to know what happened.
Yeah. I mean, I like knowing the ins and outs and the details, but 40 years old, I haven't really devoted a lot of time to a lot of the lore stories and stuff, which I'm sure if I started, it would be interesting, but it's a matter of, okay, I don't know it now. I'm not going to invest the time to catch up to where everyone else is, you know, with regards to those. And that goes for anime as well. You know, I hear people talking about different animes and like, that's pretty cool, but I haven't watched most of them. And so that it is what it is there. So what is the one thing that you're looking forward to getting back to after this whole thing is over?
Dude, I feel weird by saying this, but socializing with my friends. I thought I would never say this, but that is one thing that I've been missing, man. You know, I'll also be not to have this curfew rules in back of my head. Just go out of the building, not check, you know, my government apps to see what new rule has been implemented from 24 hours ago, you know, because it's just things change very rapidly. You know, there is always some new rule. Yeah, you cannot go out between 1 and 2. If you want to do it, you need to, you know, chew gum. Like there is always weird stuff in my head. And I'm like, huh, that's not making sense. You know?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's what a lot of people would enjoy. The not having the paranoia of missing something. Is there another restriction in place? Are we back in another curfew, another lockdown? And then you get stopped and get fined. And like, I didn't even know that we have another restriction in place. So I think that's a good point. Just the freedom, not just the freedom to go outside, but the freedom to not have to check your phone, your watch all the time to see what time is it. Oh, I only have 5 minutes left before I have to be in the house. That's really good. So do you think we'll get back to normal soon?
Oh, that's a weird one. You know how governments, when they have some amount of power, they don't give it away. I do think we'll go back to the normal life in a sense that there won't be disease out there. It will be contained and under control. But in a sense that will life be the same way as it was before? I don't know, man. Like people tend to, you know, get power and not give it back. That's how it is. And I don't think that will definitely, there will be some remaining consequences from this period of time. Yeah.
So we'll never get back to absolute normalcy.
Oh, no. Definitely life changed in a way that cannot be reversed. Yeah, there will be some elements and aspects of it remaining here. For example, I can tell you one aspect of it. And in Turkey, I think lots of places of the world, now you have these apps, government-rated apps, and they'll like, you have to use these apps now. I think I have 3 apps related to all the quarantine stuff on my phone. And I with one of them, I need to make a code for myself. The other one, I need to, take, if I want to go from one city to another city, I need to go to this other app, use this other code, ask for permission. Like these stuff are here to stay, man. They build these apps. They obviously spend a lot of money. These are not going away. So, yeah.
That's annoying. And
that's very annoying.
Disheartening.
Tell me about it.
So, I mean, it's getting towards the conspiracy aspect of, just.
Well, I don't know about the conspiracy. I do have 3 apps on my phone. You don't? Like,
wow. Well, I mean, but I'm saying when you have the apps now on the phone, but then it's getting pushing towards, okay, instead of just an app, now you just got to go and get a chip.
Well, okay, in those aspects. Yeah. Now you have to get the chip. Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people were afraid to get the vaccine, because they were saying that they're trying to microchip us. So they're instead of the vaccine, they're injecting a microchip. So.
I don't know all about that, man. I've been reading about the smallpox epidemic, and people weren't feeling vaccines. I think there's a line between getting the medical help and government abuse. And these two tend to, mix and mash and confuse everybody. Vaccines, I think they're very good. The first guy who invented vaccines, just think about how crazy he was. He was like, I'm going to inject you with this weekend amount of smallpox. I think it's going to cure you. That's mad scientist stuff right there, okay? Yeah. And dude, I'm getting goosebumps just by saying it, and it worked. Smallpox is nasty, man. Have you seen the people dying from smallpox? And he got rid of smallpox. So this is magic. This is like power of people. It's good. Vaccines are good. And there on the other side, you have like these people who, they could be, opportunistic, or they could have really good intentions and doing these things, and they will have remaining consequences, man. Yeah. I certainly do not want a chip from a government to have my HES code on it. That's for sure.
Yeah. But that's the paranoia that some people have, is that we know that there's a history of lying from governments, lying to the people. There's a history of experimentation on certain people. And so there is a level of paranoia of, can I trust the government to look out for my best interest? Can I trust the vaccine to not be something else other than what it is? And so there's a resistance there from a group of people, and it's a minority, but it's still a group of people who are pushing back and floating those conspiracies of, they're just trying to, one, further tighten their control of the population, further tighten their spying on us. They're tracking everything. So now, like you say, if you want to even go to another city, okay, you got to apply and go into this app. So they know everywhere that you are at all times. If you go to a store, okay, hey, this person has been to this store at this time. So it's like, my goodness, how much more of my freedom in my life do I have to cede to this government in order to maintain my safety? At what point do I lose my identity? And by virtue, my freedom, even though I'm able to leave the house, but I'm in prison because I have no control over when I can leave, where I can go, without having to check in with someone else. So that's the scary part.
Yeah, that's the fear. That's the fear, and I hope it doesn't, become reality. And if it becomes reality, and there are in some parts of the world, like in China, it is kind of the reality. You have some sort of social credit, and if, for example, your social credit is low, bro, no bus for you. Okay, you're gonna walk today, man.
Yeah, I remember that.
that will not end well. That is not life.
Yeah, they even
We
have
are
the
not
facial
ants,
scanner where
man.
they
We are
scan
people.
everybody. Yeah. Yeah. And
I
everyone
hope,
has a
I hope it
score.
does not become like that.
Yeah.
What's that, man?
Yeah, I was saying that what you were saying about China, about the social credit, they even have the facial scanners and it shows your score. And it's like, oh, no, you can't even buy McDonald's because.
How is that reality, man? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
They want to make sure everyone is a good citizen.
Why? Like, what's wrong with being bad citizens? Come on. Can't I choose? Can't I choose to be good? You know, like if you cannot choose to be good and you are being good, like what's the point? You know, like you should choose to be good. You should, like, being forced to be good does not end well, man. And like by nature, it kind of corrupts the being good thing, you know, on philosophical level, you know.
Or you can say if we're being forced to be good, is the entity that's forcing us to be good, is it good?
No,
Because
because in that moment you literally become corrupted. Like it cannot be done. Yeah, I see your point.
So, yeah, I think this pandemic lockdown has had a major impact and major effect on a lot of people's mental state and just thinking about life. And like you said, we're at a point to where things are going to be different going forward. That's just a reality that I think many people unfortunately have come to accept. Our normal life prior to December 2019, it's over. Life as we knew it is over. It's a new life going forward. So thinking about that, what would be your optimistic message for?
Optimistic message. You know, life can end very fast or gradually. And this is a fact about life. And most people, including me, choose to either ignore it because it is terrifying or don't even think about it at all. But now we are in a situation that human beings as a collective kind of thought about this on some level and realize, hey, yeah, life can end, you know, and life is fragile and we are also fragile as well. So I think the message is we should cherish the moments of our lives and people around us. You know, it can go away. It can go away very fast or very gradually, but we should appreciate life and people around us in the time we have. It is very cliche, but it is true. You know, I feel it.
I agree with you. And have you had any personal experience with anyone close to you that has contracted the virus,
Yes,
or even worse?
I do. My boss, my current boss, had it, and it is a kind of a funny story. Do we have time?
Mm-hmm.
We're all good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my boss got the virus, and he talked with one of his friends. He was a doctor, and the doctor was like, "Dude, you need to go to the hospital right now. Your lungs will be scarred, and they will not heal. So you have to go to a hospital." So my boss went to a hospital, and this was back in one of the peaks in Istanbul. And he goes to this hospital, and they sat him down in this one room, and they're all freaked out. And this room is like a very small room, and there's just one chair in it and one table. And they told him, "You need to wait for 10 hours for the doctor to arrive because he arrived there at night." So it's like, guys, I'm dying here. I cannot breathe. I cannot wait here with no blanket on this chair. So he left the hospital, and they called the cops on him. Yeah, they called the cops on him, and he convinced the cops, like, "Guys, there is no room, there is no doctor. This hospital is working at 110% capacity. I cannot sit here. Let me go and to go at least be able to rest in my bed. So he went back to the house.
So the cops got to
rested
the
it off.
hospital before he
What?
left? The cops got to the hospital before he left?
Yeah. Yeah, they let him go, man. Like, they saw reason. Otherwise, I don't know what would have happened in that room. So he went back, and his experience, what he told me was the fever is really bad. So you need to have it under control. And that's precisely what he did. He rested for 2 days straight, and he had this Tylenol hut. This is something to temper your
Tylenol?
temper your fever, decrease your fever. So he had those, and he just slept there in our house. And and he was very tired for a few days, but I thought it hilarious going to a hospital and that being full. Kind of funny, but terrifying.
Yeah, the capacity, everybody was, over capacity for a while. But I guess the reason why they called the cops is because they didn't want him leaving and spreading it to other people. So they were trying to quarantine him at the hospital. So it makes sense. But if you have no room for me.
Yeah. And they called him the next day he left the hospital and asked him, hey, can you at least tell us who you contacted? And he contacted a lot of people, I think he single-handedly gave COVID to 20 people because he didn't know he had it. Yeah. So he was on his grind, meeting with people, different people, shaking hands, and he had the COVID.
Yeah, that's the scary part about it, is that you may be asymptomatic and have it and not know. And so that's why I think the restrictions are in place, the mask mandates and all that stuff are in place, is to minimize the transmission of the virus, because you may not know you have it, but you might just have it and be spreading it to other people. So has he recovered?
Yeah, dude, this is what makes COVID so powerful. People don't know they have it, and they give it to other people, and I'm sure it makes them feel really bad, like the way it made my boss feel. He gave it to lots of people, and lots of them are his friends. He obviously don't want to make them sick, but he did.
Yeah. And so he's fully recovered now.
Oh yeah. This story was from a year ago.
Oh, okay. So when it first, was kind of getting real.
Yeah, but if you talk to him today, he will tell you it is like a bad flu. But I don't know. I'm not convinced it is like the flu. I hear this argument a lot of time, but
well, it depends on the person, because I interviewed a couple other people, and some were having extreme pains. They couldn't taste, they couldn't smell. Other people had aches, or the body was just breaking down. And of course, we know that some people have died from it. So it has a different impact on different people. And then some people showed no symptoms or signs at all. So there's no way to fully say, okay, don't worry about it, you're only going to have these issues. That's not how to approach it. I think it's in all of our best interest to be aware of, even if we're not afraid ourselves, but be aware of the people around us, because we don't know how it's going to impact them. And I think that's the message. That's, again, why I want to do these stories, is because all of us have a story, and all of us have our own experiences regarding the lockdown and everything like that. But by sharing the stories, we're able to connect with someone who comes from our own country, our own nationality, own ideology, mindset, whatever. We're able to connect and speak to people that someone else may not be able to speak to. That's the whole purpose for this. So I just want to thank you again for jumping on and sharing your story with me. All right.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Have a nice day, man.
You too. All right. Remember, everyone, you only have one life. So make sure you do it justice.
Exactly. One life, and we need to cherish it. We need to, there won't be another chance at this.
Exactly.
I would like to thank all of the wonderful and brave people who have trusted me with their stories. Although there are billions of people on this planet, the past year and a half has made many of us feel alone and isolated. My hope is that by sharing our tragedies and triumphs, we can begin to reconnect and understand that we are not in this alone and that we are all in this together. If you would like to be a part of the Quarantine Chronicles community and share your story, click on the interview scheduler in the link description below. Winston Churchill said, "If you're going through hell, keep going." We're not going to let this pandemic beat us. Let's keep pressing and keep progressing. Justice done.